Disney is at somewhat of a crossroads. It went from being one of the most beloved family friendly companies to being at the center of a culture war. And even just from a business perspective, it chose the wrong side. Disney's core audience was families with children and kiddies like little Cheshire who wanted to stay away from bad influences and watch family friendly movies with their kids. And for a while there, Disney put out content promoting hatred for men and by extension fathers, putting down women who chose marriage and motherhood, and putting out subtle messages that marriage and motherhood rob women of their potential. And it really backfired on Disney. Their self governing status was revoked, and Republican Governor Ron DeSantis presented the company with significant legal challenges to retain their tax exempt status. And more importantly, Disney faced flop after flop in the box office. And it's funny that the whole issue between Disney and the state of Florida started because Disney challenged Governor Ron DeSantis's bill that denied teachers the ability to speak to kindergarten through third grade students about gender identity and homosexuality. Isn't that wild? And since that time, Disney has reeled things back a bit. Apparently, they want to stay out of the culture war. I guess picking a side didn't exactly work out for them. They felt the hole in their pockets and decided to rethink some things, which honestly makes me happy. And that brings me to the point of this video. I recently saw Elio, one of Disney's new movies, and I saw a couple of videos online that made me curious about what all the fuss was about. And a quick side note, the video I did a couple of weeks ago on Lilo and Stitch was probably one of the videos I had the most fun making. So I decided, why not start a thing? And real quick, if you enjoy this kind of content, I will have it come out for you at least 3 times a week. For now, it will be Monday, Wednesday, and Saturdays. So make sure to subscribe and keep an eye out. And I decided to see Elio. And the first thing I noticed in the theater was this.
Here we go.
You see that? I felt comfortable recording because literally no one was in the theater. A couple did walk in after my wife and I, and that was literally it. 4 people in a huge movie theater. And 2 of them were there to make content monitoring whether Disney was behaving
Get to the point,
itself or
boy.
not. All right, so the Disney movie was all right. Honestly, not nearly as good as Lilo and Stitch or a lot of other Disney movies I've seen, but I'd give it at least like a 4 or 5 out of 10. It's about this kid, Elio, whose parents just died, and his aunt is left taking care of him. But Elio doesn't really fit in, like, at all. He's such an outcast, and he has these intrusive thoughts about being abducted by aliens. In fact, he's obsessed with them, which, real quick side note, it's kind of interesting that the last 2 big movies Disney has put out have been about aliens. But yes, Elio goes to the beach and begs aliens to kidnap him.
I'm trying to get abducted by aliens. So if any aliens are listening, please come and get me. Okay, bye. Love you.
Coincidentally, some nutcase at the military base his sister works at managed to intercept a message from aliens, and Elio hears about it and gets his goofy ass beamed into outer space. Elio meets a bunch of aliens and earns their respect when he negotiates with this terrifying warlord and saves them from certain death. He even makes his friend along the way who also doesn't fit in. The friend is key here. He's this cute and terrifying, demonic looking worm thing that also doesn't really feel like he fits in. He also happens to be the son of the warlord Elio negotiates with, and the son, like Elio, also doesn't fit in.
I didn't fit in. I thought Earth was the problem. But what if it's me? I had a friend before. Me neither.
His dad wants him to be an epic warrior like himself, and the son, Gordon, secretly doesn't want to. There's this heartwarming scene where Gordon, encouraged by Leo, tells him that his father loves him enough that no secret will matter, tells his father that he doesn't want to grow up and be a warrior. The real plot twist in the end is that the father reveals that he already knew. Isn't that heartwarming? My first reaction to this scene was, did the screenwriter for the film just make this subtle micro insertion of a gay person coming out to their parents? I certainly hope not. So I went and Googled the original writer of the film, and big surprise, the guy's gay, which doesn't necessarily mean anything. 2.5% of American men are either gay or bisexual. So there's a chance that this is just a coincidence, right? Wrong. In fact, according to The Hollywood Reporter, Elio was created as a, quote, queer-coded character, reflecting the original director Adrian Molina's identity as an openly gay film director. Keep in mind the words original director because we'll be coming back to that. So, unfortunately, my gut instinct was correct. To Disney's credit, they did sort of remedy this. In fact, after a trial period where people came in and gave their honest feedback on the original movie, none of the people who saw it during that testing period said that they would see the movie in theaters.
Studio executives were allegedly not satisfied with this original cut of Elio, and as I said before, they did a showing for a group of people, and not a single one of them said that they would watch this in the movie theater.
After this feedback, Disney removed a few clearly homoerotic scenes from the movie, including Elio having a poster in his room, which was highly suggestive of his male crush, and Elio making a bikini on the beach out of trash and having a hermit crab trashin' show. And remember when I said the words former director? Well, Adrian Molino was so upset with the changes Disney made by making it not clearly LGBT that he walked away from the director position. And we've got to remember this movie was made for kids. Honestly, Adrian Molina should be fired. Not because he's gay. Why then? It's one thing to heavily insert your sexuality and political opinions into a movie made for adults. Still a little bit of an overreach. It's quite another to try and peddle it to America's youth and get so upset when you're not allowed to do that that you walk away from directing a big budget film. Kid movies shouldn't have subliminal messaging to push out various agendas. And I'm actually really proud of Disney for taking out what they did, but in my opinion, they didn't go far enough. Directors and filmmakers who push these ideologies in their films shouldn't get their movies on the big screen at all. This movie wasn't bad. Not sure if I'd go out of my way to see it again, but the point of this video is to point out that Disney's making some progress, but it needs to do better. Catch you guys later this week for my second Elon Musk video. And as always, if you're not subscribed, get on it.